I am live. Oh man, I'm live. Here we go. Today, I have a huge announcement. I'm announcing right here, right now, that for the next several days, I will be doing live property tax webinars, seminars, whatever you want to call it. I will be going live answering the top questions in property taxes. Let me give you an idea of what that means. I'll answer how to protest and when. I will answer questions about the over 65 exemption. I will tell you who the one type of person that should not protest is. I will tell you, I'm going to do a seminar webinar over the secret people behind the scenes making our property tax situation corrupt, like why our situation is so bad, what's causing it to stay corrupt, and why we're not seeing it get fixed. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about answer the question: how can we hold the appraisal district accountable? How you make sure that your local appraisal district isn't corrupt, and what to do about it if they are. I will also have I'll do one topic on unveiling my secret algorithm. I'm not going to show you the actual code because that wouldn't make sense, but I'll show you how I do it, the logic behind everything. I'm going to go over property tax legislation, what's being talked about, and what kind of hopes we have moving forward, what it's going to take to see some actual real change, and some insights as to what I've seen behind the scenes on that. And my assistant is calling right now. Hopefully that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be, something's going on. And she's like, hurry, turn it off, Chandler, something's going on. No. But I'll also talk about how to file your protest, even if you missed the protest deadline. I'll talk about how the appraisal district determines property tax values, and how you can protest like a millionaire. So anyway, the big announcement is this. Every day for a while, I am going to have one property tax live event, and we're going to promote it. I'm going to schedule and tell you exactly what type of subject I'm going to be covering each day. I'm going to promote it in advance, and then I'll stay on to answer any questions. And so that is my big announcement. Every single day, you're going to get the hottest breaking news on property tax stuff, and the juiciest questions that you want answered, I will answer them. And so there you go. So Jerry Robin Pendleton, what is up? Good to see you. Right now, we've had a lot going on over the past. So my big announcement is that every day I'm going to be holding a live property tax, I don't know what to call it, seminar or webinar. I'm going to be going live property tax style. And today is what a lot of people thought was the property tax deadline. It is not the property tax deadline in Tarrant County. It was extended to the 30th. So if you still need to protest and haven't signed up yet, you can sign up on my website, freetaxprotest.com. If you don't want to sign up on my website, that's totally okay. By the way, the funny thing is, somebody out there is super obsessed with me. They have spent so much time and money sending out mail on my behalf, like about me. And so it's flattering. I'll have to say thank you for all the attention and somebody spending so much money because they feel like I'm worth it. But here's the funny thing about this. I actually don't care if you sign up with me. I don't care. If you don't want to sign up with me, it's perfectly okay. My number one goal is that you sign up, is that you protest. I don't care if you sign up with me or you go protest on your own. In fact, I'm perfectly happy to teach you how to protest on your own. And in many ways, it makes me happier when you protest on your own. Last week, I actually, let's see, I can't tell you how many events I did, but it was crazy. Oh my gosh, I haven't had a week like I had last week. Let's see, one day I went and did a live event for landlords. I taught landlords how to protest, and I kind of got into the minutia about some specific ways that arguments that you can have in your protest hearing, and some of the math behind how I create an effective argument in a protest hearing. All the protest hearings I don't go to, how I do that effectively. Also, then I went and spoke with a bunch of realtors, room full of realtors in Southlake. It was the Metro Texas Association of Realtors. they had me out, and the room was packed, and I taught the realtors how I do what I do. I taught them for free. In fact, maybe that's one thing that I could do, is I could go on and teach people how to do the same thing I'm doing. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to do, because the vast majority of people are just going to, or just need their property protest. Nobody cares about how to do it like I'm doing it, but I'd be happy to teach that. But I did that one day. That was probably, I don't know, probably 60 people in the room. And then I did a radio interview, and I did at 6 a.m., which that's what time they do property tax in Wichita Falls. Apparently, they wake up thinking property taxes. Man, the crows, the rooster's crowing out there. So they're like, well, let's go. Let's wake up in a real bad mood, talk property taxes, I guess. And so they got to hear my voice out there. Then I went out to the Parker County Conservatives. It was about 200 people out there. It was standing room only. They used every single chair in the building that I know of. Everybody standing around the walls. I mean, it's a pretty big area, and they're just riveted with trying to learn property tax stuff. And then I came back here. I went to the appraisal district board meeting that was Friday morning. And then right after that, I went to, so Thursday was my conservative friends, and Friday was my liberal friends. I went to speak to a liberal political activist group, and all these things I'm doing for free. And the funny thing is, at most of these events, I forget to tell people about my website. I just, it's weird. I find it an answered prayer to be able to know something that can help people, and I can share that information. And then the cool thing about the live in-person events is that people will take that information and go tell somebody else. And so I've actually, since I've started this, I don't want to take credit for this, because I don't think just doing it in Tarrant County is enough to really make an impact. But I have seen the rooms full of people get smarter. When I show up to a room full of people now, the people are smarter than they were when I started this 6 years ago. And it's a really cool thing to see. And so that gets me energized. And I tell you, last week I had a cold or something. I don't know what it was. It was just, I was not feeling it. I apologize to anybody that I was around. I thought it was probably allergies, but then maybe it was allergies on top of just hitting it hard. But it's like when I just did not feel like doing anything. And then you stand up in front of a room full of people, and there's something about that just switches the energy switch on. It's like, wow. I was like, just going, I don't know. It just all of a sudden the energy shows up when you're doing that. So anyway, so now several people have said, hey, let me know when you're going to go be somewhere in person. I'm going to be really honest with you. The reason why I have not been promoting any of these events is because the people that I'm going to speak to are not necessarily in the same exact circles that I'm in. Like, you've got the Parker County Conservatives. I've gone to the Palo Pinto Conservative Group. I've gone to the Wise County Conservative Group. I don't know. All the conservative groups have invited me out. Now I've got, I went to a liberal group last Friday. I'm going to go to a liberal group this Friday. I could care less what political persuasion you are. If you want to have me out to a group, I'm probably not going to be saying yes to a whole lot more people, because I've got my plate full. And instead of doing events in other counties, I'm just focusing here in Tarrant County as much as I possibly can. Now that the protest deadline has been extended to the 30th, you can still sign up on my website. I extended my deadline. So www.freetaxprotest.com. You can go there and sign up. But I'm just going to be focusing on helping people here in Tarrant County. That's where my bread and butter is. That's where my passion is. I'm just going to these other counties because I can't protest for people there. So I'll just go share the information. But anyway, I have not promoted this to other promoted this publicly. Sorry, let me start over. I have not promoted any of the speaking events that I'm doing publicly, because I get concerned that some of these, I've got a very small group of haters out there that are just lividly pissed. Sorry, I shouldn't use the P word. Lividly mad that I'm out there helping people for free. We must stop Chandler at all costs. We cannot let him help anybody else. we have to make sure the people can pay top dollar for their property tax help, or they have to pay. I don't know what the motivation is. It's just wacky. I mean, I was thinking about headlines to write, and one headline is property. Let's see, local government is enraged that citizens receive free help on protests, so government stages their own protest or something. Anyway, there could be some funny like Babylon Bee headlines made out of this, but I didn't want any of the haters to go to any of these other groups that I'm speaking at, because if they show up like and they start causing trouble for any of these groups, like the host of those groups, they don't want any of that trouble. And it's if somebody doesn't like me for whatever reason, they then I just feel like, if somebody showed up to one of those events, then I would feel bad. So I'd almost rather not go than to cause somebody some trouble. But now I'm bringing the dadgum trouble to them. I'm bringing the trouble to you. And so every day I'm going to plan. I'm going to have a new topic that I'm going to cover, a different angle on this thing. And so for anybody that's been to any of those speaking events, that they are having to pull me off stage to make time for their announcements or just to allow people to go home. I've always got more to share, and to break it up like this will allow me to cover each topic a little bit more full. And actually, I'm going to try and get a guest or two on. There's going to be a guy that has done some incredible stuff on the legislative front. He's got his finger on the pulse more than anybody else. I want to get him on so he can tell you what's really going on behind the scenes legislatively. And I'll give details to those of you that are like property tax nerds or computer geeks or tax consultants or realtors or anybody else there that wants to help people on a deeper level. I'm going to show you behind the scenes what I do on a larger scale to help people, because I know it seems pretty unbelievable that I can help this many people and do it effectively. But that's the reason why anybody doesn't like me, is because it drives them crazy to see that I'm doing this on a big scale, and maybe they aren't doing it on a big scale, and it drives people nuts. All right. So those are my announcements. That's really it. But part of this announcement is to say every day I'm going to be coming on here and I will answer all of your questions. You just have to comment. You have to understand that if you do comment, I'm going to show your comment on just like this. I'm going to say, "What's up, Jerry?" So you just have to know, as long as you're okay with that, any of your comments are already public, so I'm not going to give any more of a disclaimer. And to answer your question, Kim, yes, I do sleep. Thanks to Mother's Day. I rode the coattails of Mother's Day and slept in with the mother of my children. Slept in with, yes, I slept in. We slept in. We slept late, just as a day of recuperation and to prepare for the yard work and garden work ahead. We got a ton of sleep on Sunday and went out and did a ton of yard work, and it was a good Mother's Day. That's exactly what she wanted. And so we have a great looking garden now, thanks to my wife's vision and her request for some garden help. All right. So Tony, hey, greetings from Holland. What is up? Why does Holland care about property taxes? I don't know, but it's good to have you on here. What's up, Holland? There is Patricia, best realtor on earth right there, Patricia Lloyd, and she knows where to go get the very best property tax help you can find. It's at freetaxprotest.com. Tell your friends and neighbors. Who gets crazy? Klaus Schwab. Yeah, there you go. We've got Klaus Schwab. It seems like he's running the property tax industry over here. So Kathy says she was there. Where were you, Kathy? Which one of these events were you at? And then I would love for you to give a little bit of a spiel. What's your feedback? Did it go well? Did you get any information out of it? Was I low energy, or was I bringing it? Tell people what to expect if they tune in one of these days for my property tax events. Hi, Chandler and team. What's up, Sarah? Melanie, we need to do ours. I was just looking at your, I think it was a Mother's Day photo where Barrett was wearing the, the hat that was, oh, hold on. Give me a second. It wasn't Cabela's. It was, not Cabela's. Oh my gosh. This is so weird how, like, because I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of it. Oh, it's so weird. Isn't it weird how you can actually feel a thought almost come to the forefront? Anyway, whatever. Who was wearing that hat? So, what's up, Melanie? Yeah, sign up. freetaxprotest.com. You know what? I apologize. Dad, gummit. Barrett wanted me to call, and I totally forgot until this very moment. I am so sorry. Well, it's not too late. Pass this along to Barrett. freetaxprotest.com. Here's the thing. One reason why I wanted to come on and answer questions is because I feel really bad because of all of the hubbub that's happened over the past few days and all the speaking events. I've posted a few more times than normal. We sent out 2 emails. Normally we have to space our emails out because the number of replies that we get from any email is enormous. And then lately I've made some posts, and on each post there's like 80 to 100 comments, and then I've got a ridiculous amount of private messages, and you just would never believe the logistics behind, you've got to go through and find each comment, and then you've got to go. It seems like it should be simple, but it's really kind of crazy because I've got a business page, a personal page, I got my YouTube, and then we've got so I've got comments, the posts that are on my wall, and then we've got private messages, and then I've got nextdoor.com. It's the same kind of thing. So and then I've got emails. And really, if you want a response to anything, the very best way is to send an email, protest@chandlercross.com. It just allows us a way to deal with all of the interactions that we need to make sure everybody gets the response that they deserve. And to make sure we don't miss anything. So it's just right now I'm a little bit behind because of the weekend. I did take Mother's Day off. And so we've just got, we started the day with like 750 emails that need a reply. We got it down to 700. And that means while there were tons of emails still coming in, to get it down 50 is a pretty significant achievement because when you have like hundreds show up and we're replying to hundreds and then we're still able to get it down by 50, it just means that I've got a rock star team that kicks butt and takes names. And so I'm more behind on my social media than anything else. So I apologize if you're waiting on an answer. I promise you're going to get the answer. It's just going to take a little while, but this is what this is for, is to kind of acknowledge that at the same time. What's up, Helen? How you doing? Thank you. Appreciate all your support. Elizabeth, thank you. D, hello. Glad you're feeling. Thank you, D. I'm feeling great. I think part of it was just my indoor voice is rather loud. I tend to have one volume, and that is yell. I yell. So when you just yell that much, it's watch by the end of this week, I'm gonna be hurting again, but it's all right. See, Daisy, what do we have here? We have Sharon saying thank you. By the way, I don't read these until they pop up on the screen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Audra. Really appreciate you. And Jacqueline approves of the P word. Thank you. All right, what do we have here? Just saw a post on Nextdoor Appraisal District that over 13,000 people used a new tool to protest online, and over 4,000 came to an agreeable settlement. Not sure if this is statistically better than if you protest in person or someone protests. You know what, Elizabeth? I think that it's a great question. I don't know. I think that's really cool that they're releasing those statistics. I think it's fantastic. The tool that they're talking about wasn't available in the beginning, and I feel like I'm having to kind of eke over this comment. It wasn't available in the beginning, and now they've made it available. I know that they're motivated to reach settlements with people. I know that one settlement that I looked at, they got a settlement offer. And if I was to protest, I know that I would have been able to get it $75,000 less than what the settlement offer was. But here's the thing. I think there's probably, I've only tested a couple of these, and I think that there's probably a high likelihood that sometimes they'll offer you something on their settlement tool, and then I wouldn't get the same kind of treatment. So sometimes I'll get better. Sometimes you'll get better through the settlement tool. That's one of the things that's kind of weird. It's like there are a lot of laws and regulations that require the appraisal district to agree to certain things and to go through certain procedures, like a protest hearing. The amount of time everybody gets to speak is mandated, and it's regimented. There's a process. When do you have to file a deadline by? How many hours do you have to like if you're there for 2 hours and they don't call your name, then you can get it rescheduled. Like everything's very structured and regimented. However, one thing that's not regimented and structured and policy driven whatsoever is what they're allowed to agree to for a settlement. So for instance, if I chose, I'm going to pull that away so I don't have to peek over it. If I chose to try to reach an informal settlement with the appraisal district, and I did not go to a formal protest hearing, I tried to do it beforehand, the rules that they have to agree to one of those settlements are like wide open. And actually, I've got some inside information about how they agree to different settlement figures on like multifamily and commercial, and it's enough to make you want to puke. Except if you're a multifamily or commercial property owner, it's going to make them like super happy. The problem is, I'm excited for anybody to get a reduction. In fact, I want everybody, including multifamily commercial property owners, to get the biggest reduction possible. The problem is that when millions upon millions of property value are not being taxed, then the single family residential property owners end up footing the bill. So, but that's the way the rules are set up. All that just to say this: those settlement numbers that they're showing you are wide open. If they're motivated to get a reduction and to agree to a very low value, then the door's wide open. I don't know what they're going to be willing to do. We've had our opening negotiation on a bunch of them, but we have not made progress on that because I treat everything like an assembly line. And by the way, let me just say this. I've seen a couple people pop up and say, "Hey, Chandler, you haven't filed our protest yet. What's up? Are you going to do that?" Here's the thing. Yes, I will do it. I have a 100% track record of filing every protest on time, every year. Here's what you need to know. You're not going to get let's say if I would have already filed every protest already, you still wouldn't have your results. So there's two events. One is filing the protest. The second is getting your results. And so the filing part is just simply a statement where we say we are protesting the value on this. It doesn't mean we're handing them any evidence at that point. It doesn't mean we're negotiating at that point. All we're doing is satisfying a legal requirement to give them a notice that we're not agreeing to that value. Then what they do is they will schedule a hearing date at some point in the future. And that hearing date is our new deadline. So between now and that hearing date is when we negotiate with them, share evidence, look at their evidence, and do everything we can to get the reduction. And so strategically, I'm a big fan of participating in the log jam that happens right at the deadline, where everybody and their dog files the protest at the last minute. And so what ends up happening is it takes them a while to protest or to go through all of their protests to get everything logged in. And here's the other thing. If somebody wants to send me photos of repair issues or any kind of evidence, I don't want somebody to come back to me and say, "Wait a second, you agreed to a value reduction way before the deadline, and I was planning on sending you some evidence for this protest hearing, and now they're mad at me because they didn't get to include some evidence," or something like that. And that's just worst case scenario for me. So you've just got to trust that I'm a professional, and I've done this every single year. And I've got some haters out there that do not like the fact that I'm helping people for free. And some of those haters are inside the appraisal district. And one of them, the biggest hater of all, just retired. So that's the good news. And I'll also say this, the good news is the chief appraiser out there at the Tarrant Appraisal District, Jeff Law, he's been extremely friendly to me. He's under a lot of pressure right now to perform at a high level. That's public knowledge. There's a letter of repair that he was issued. He's doing everything he can to execute on the highest level possible. And that includes being very motivated to try to be agreeable with homeowners and tax agents, especially this tax agent. He's not going to give me any preferential treatment over anybody else, but I just believe that the climate at the appraisal district is friendlier than ever this year. They're putting their best foot forward, and it's to our advantage. And when I say our, I'm saying ours as collectively property owners and tax agents. They're doing everything they can to try and make things the best they can. All right. I went on like 3 bunny trails. Let me get back to the questions here, because if somebody's got a question, I want to answer it. Now I'm going to get off this thing before I lose my voice. All right. My evaluation still has not been done, so it's not allowing me to sign up with you. Candace, it hasn't been done, so you can't sign up with me. That's a different situation, Candace. Huh. And by the way, I used to have I have a friend who used to fly privately for people with the last name Bigelow, and they did have the Bigelow T connection. So his name is Steve Roberts. He's one of my best friends and of all time. So anyway, be kind of cool if we had that connection. But so Candace, if you log on to tad.org and you look at your value and it says pending, then I would be shocked if that was a reason why you couldn't sign up on my website. By the way, if you have had a confidential account and you remove the confidentiality so that you can sign up with us, if you notice that this morning we had about 30 minutes of downtime around the 8 o'clock hour, the reason for that downtime was so we could refresh our system with those confidential accounts that are now public. And so, Candace, there are a number of reasons why we're not going to be able to protest for somebody, but that's not one of them that I know of. If you have a confidential account and so your value just your account isn't on the appraisal district website, that's one of them where we can't protest for you, because we depend on that public data feed in order to be able to do our protest. So that's one reason. But other than that, I couldn't tell you why that's happened. So I would just suggest email my office, and so we can maybe troubleshoot it for you. protest@chandlercrosser.com is that email address. All right, Helen, God bless you and you. I was going to say you and your wife. Who knows? Hey, look, Helen, if you have a secret wife out there, I will God bless her too. It doesn't matter to me. Well, God bless everybody. Kathy. So, oh, what's up, Kathy? You were at the realtor event. Very cool. So Bass Pro hat, Melanie Smith. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I would have got off of this and it would have hit me. All right. Barrett is wearing Bass Pro hat, and he's looking mighty fine with that mighty fine family. I cannot believe how big your kids are. It's freaking me out. All right. I would like to file a protest on behalf of my mother. I do have a power of attorney for her. Is that workable? You know what? I really don't know on the power of attorney. I'll tell you what you need to get is an appointment of agent form. That's the key thing. The appraisal district operates in an alternate universe where words are given different meanings and they make up their own words and stuff like that. And so you need to use stuff inside their little universe. The thing to get is the appointment of agent form. Just Google that, appointment of agent for property tax matters. If I've got one on my desk, I'll hold it up. But I'm not seeing it at my fingertips. But that's what you're going to need. The power of attorney. That power of attorney, just check the boxes around where the signature blank is. It'll say other person. The person signing the form is somebody other than the property owner, and it's not the agent. That's probably the box you'll check. At the top, you need to put your mother's name and contact information. Let's see what else we have. We have Kathy Jones says, yes, a lot of, so Kathy was is giving her feedback on the realtor event. Let's see what she says. Yes, lots of info. There was a word you used about 2 numbers, and I can't remember what you told me. I'm trying to help a realtor in my office with protesting and a few neighbors. Here's a perfect example of where I am more than happy to help somebody go protest on their own or help spread the wealth. All right, so Kathy, I'm going to give you a few more numbers. So if you are, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. So number 1 is the market value number. The market value is the only value you have the legal ability to protest. There's another term in Tarrant County called the appraised value. They literally just use the wrong word. They changed the definition of the word appraised. It should be called the homestead capped value, not the appraised value. They literally are just using the wrong words. So you have the market value, which is their opinion of what the house is worth. Then you have the homestead capped value, which is irrelevant for your protesting process. It's extremely relevant when it comes down to how your actual tax bill is going to be calculated. But the tax assessor is the one that does the tax bill. The appraisal district is just in charge of the appraisal. So you've got your market value. Then what you can do is log in and look. This is just for somebody protesting on their own. If you're protesting with me, by the way, we got a stack of hearing notices today. The only reason we get those hearing notices is if you go file a protest on your own and then you come and sign up with us. You do not need to file a protest on your own. In fact, do not file a protest on your own. It screws up their system. If you sign up with me, I file everything for you and I do everything for you. All right. So if you're protesting on your own, go to tad.org, log in the top right corner. Then you've got to get your blue value notice out. There's an online PIN number. Plug that in and add your property to the online account. Then you'll be able to click on the Documents tab. And inside that, you'll get to see the evidence they're going to use against you in the protest hearing. On that evidence, there are two main documents. One is going to be the sales comps for market value, and the other one's going to be the equity comps for the unequal protest. Okay, so if you're signed up with me, you don't need to know any of this, but on those two documents in the lower left corner, there is something that so the documents are going to look kind of like this. And then in the lower left corner, there's going to be something called the indicated value. So the one in the lower left corner, one's going to be the indicated value for equity comps. The other one's going to be the indicated value for sales comps. So never agree to a value higher. So you need to make sure the value that you get is at least the minimum, the lower of those two numbers. Okay. So the comps that you get from the appraisal district, that's the evidence that they have against you. They're required by law to back up their proposed value with evidence. And if they can't back it up with evidence, then they're required to lower that value to whatever the evidence supports. And this is the crazy thing to me. This is one thing that's really weird. Whenever I first started learning about this, was that the number on your blue value notice may not have any evidence whatsoever in their system that they'll use in a protest hearing. So it's a mass appraisal approach, and I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm going to answer this in one of the seminars I'm going to do later this week. By the way, if you missed the major announcement is this: every day this week, and for a while, I'm going to do a seminar or an online live event answering questions. I'm going to go through several different topics. I'm going to go through the over 65 exemption, how that works, how to protest and when if you're not hiring someone like me. I'm going to tell you about the people behind the scenes that are ensuring that our property tax system never changes. And I'm going to teach you how to protest like a millionaire if you want to do that. How to hold the appraisal district accountable. I'm going to go over my secret formulas for how I protest for so many people at scale. So if you're a computer nerd or a property tax geek and you want to do this on a larger level, then it's going to be a little bit of it, or you're just kind of curious, how does Chandler do it? Then I'll have that. And then I'm going to go over some of the property tax legislation that's going on, what it's going to take to actually change the system once and for all, and what we can expect for this year. So those are some of the events. But Kathy, you're going to take the lower of those two indicated values. That's going to be the maximum that you should accept for a value. Then you're going to try and work your way down from that. So hopefully that helps. I think that's what it was. Melanie, you are awesome. What do we got here? Are taxes frozen for the over 65? If you have an over 65 exemption, the school district tax is for sure capped. The others, maybe not so much. You'll have to tune in to one of my little live events that I'm going to do for this so that you can get the full scoop. I'll give you some information you won't hear anywhere else. I promise you. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate you. Boom. Look at that. John, you were right on the money. That's where to go. Where can you go protest? How can you sign up with me? It's freetaxprotest.com. Good evening, Chris. Let's see here. Let me reframe that question in having you file the protest. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Sorry. Can I protest? Huh. On my protest form, I changed it so that you have to tell me that you're the owner of the property. So you have to tell me you're the owner of the property. Go ahead and plug in the account number, look at the questions, and I'm going to leave that. That's up to you. Okay. But you would have to tell me that. John, I do it for free. That is right. Now, here's the scandalous truth. How does Chandler make money, and how can I afford to do this for free? You know, it's funny. If I just charged people for this, then it's like, I guess the hate would change. For some reason, you know what? I shouldn't say this. I need to thank you guys. I need to thank you for, first of all, I need to thank my team, because the reputation that I have because of the work that we do is because I have an amazing team. And we have a morning huddle every single morning where we get together. We talk about what's going on, what the plan is for the day, that sort of thing. And I forgot to thank them for that. And it's right now there's something going on where there are all sorts of people talking about me, talking about the service we provide. And I'm blown away. It's really, really mind blowing to see. It's something that I can't even really understand, but there are so few people out there that have negative comments, and it's heartwarming. And it's like, I don't know, it gives me faith in humanity. And it also makes me just realize, like, I'm sitting alone in an office right now, just talking to a camera. I get to see the comments, but 90% of what happens is not in front of a room full of people. It's me alone in this office. And to see the kind of online feedback that I'm seeing of people having all these positive comments, like without people are not saying positive things because they think I'm going to be looking at it. People are saying positive things because they're coming to my defense in some group, in some neighborhood, somewhere. And I won't see 90% of the comments being made. Every time I log on to Facebook or Nextdoor, I see it because it's in my face. And the only reason that's happening is, number one, because I have an incredible team that they do good work. We do good work. And people can't fake doing good work. If I've helped you, you can't help that. It's like if you open the door for somebody and so that somebody doesn't have to open the door, it's not like you can fake that. You're either opening the door and helping somebody or you're not. And I've got a team of people that have been opening that door for people nonstop. And I'm just the mascot. I'm the mouth. I get on here, I yell. I don't use my indoor voice, and I'll talk till I'm, can't talk anymore. But the truth is, there are a lot of people behind the scenes doing a lot of good work. And that includes my team of realtors. And here's the thing. I was going to say, I get some hate because of this, but the truth is, I come out and I say very transparently the way that we fund this expensive operation. I employ a full staff just to do this, and I've built expensive software and all sorts of stuff. The way I've done this is because people come back and choose our team of realtors to help them buy or sell a house. And my decision early on was, I don't want to worry about any disclosure issues. I don't want to have to worry about anything. I'm just going to tell people right up front exactly what I'm doing. And in fact, I'm not going to hold anything back. It allows me to be able to talk freely and to talk openly and honestly about what's going on and how I fund it, what I do to run the operation. I will open the doors and let people see what's going on. And I'm not holding back secrets. In fact, it allows me to operate with some amount of a pure heart to say, I will teach you how to go protest, go do it on your own. And if you don't want to protest, then go ahead and sign up with me. I don't know. It's like, as I started on this journey, I've started accepting donations, and you guys are just incredibly generous. You're generous to donate. You're generous to say positive things online. And it has helped me get my heart in the right place by doing this for so long with pure intentions, trying to change the laws that I'm fighting against by doing this. If I'm successful and help change the laws, then I'm not going to be protesting for any other people. I'm going to have to find a different purpose, which I'm 100% okay with. And it's kind of like starting with that angle is, and keeping that pure is an important thing for me. And so Anyway, I could ramble on about all this stuff for quite a while. It's just to say this: whenever how do we do it for free? To answer your question, my real estate company is, I guess, the sponsor of this thing. I'm the broker owner of Chandler Crouch Realtors. I have a team of realtors. When we close a transaction, we pour right back into the community and invest heavily. I don't. This is my biggest charitable thing. I have to make a living off of it, or else I couldn't afford to do it. But I'm just lucky enough to be able to do something that I'm really, really good at in helping people buy or sell houses, and use that in a way to give back to the community. And it just happens to be something I can really get passionate about and get behind. And so it's just a cool dovetailing of something that checks the box for my faith, box, my community service box, to make a living box, my success, all these different things. And it's just kind of a cool thing that it all fits together. So I feel fortunate and I feel very fortunate that I've been able to help so many people, and so many people have had a positive experience with our company, because that's what's causing you guys to, go out there and just share your experience. And by the way, I'm depending on it 100%. I could not keep up with the comments online. If it weren't for you out there sharing your experience, then this whole thing would end, because I can't. I'm one person. I've got an incredible team, but it's so much bigger than any of us. It's taking all of us to go out there and keep it alive. So I just cannot appreciate you enough. And I also want to say this: I'm super motivated to nip this little problem in the bud. And so people have said, "Well, why don't you sue these folks? Why don't you, try and pluck the weeds, so to speak?" There's a lot to it. So I'll just leave it at that. But I'm a guy that I've got a lot of motivation, and I can do. God has blessed me with a mom that that gifted me with the genetics of high energy. So, and I'm putting that energy to use in so many ways. I'm just really appreciate being able to juggle multiple things and do all this stuff, because it's a really cool ride. So I just can't thank you guys enough for your support. So there you go. All right. I could keep going. Yes, he does. What's up, Mike? How you doing? I don't know. Does he do this for free? Okay, Mike's answering yes. Yeah, here's the thing. People like the hater out there says he tries to be like a good guy and do it, for profit. All right. Well, so why don't you try signing up for my tax protest thing, not donating anything, and then see what happens? Watch me do it for free for you. By the way, I've done it for free for like 6 years without. I got very minimal donations last year, and God bless you if you donated last year, because you had to kind of hunt for the donation link. I didn't make it apparent. This year, I just got serious about saying, if I really want to help people, we need to crank this thing up. And by the way, money is the answer to do a whole lot and make a lot more impact. And so, I've got a track record to back me up. And so, anyway, yeah, appreciate it. Wow, what an awesome! Hi, John. All right. Can we log in to TAD to see the evidences if you are handling it? Just curious. I don't know on that one, Melanie. I would say this: if I protested for you last year, then you likely did not get your blue value notice. They likely sent it to me, and they don't give me an online PIN number, and I don't know what it would take for you to get that. I've asked them what it would take. You may just be able to email them and get the PIN number. In their view, the only reason why you would need to get the online PIN number is if you need to see the evidence, because you're going to protest on your own behalf. So they don't really go out of their way to give it to you. However, I'll show you something pretty cool. If you've got some tolerance for spreadsheets and a lot of data, let me just show you this. If I can get their website to cooperate, then I will share my screen and I'll show you where you can find a lot of cool stuff. Share screen. This is part of me giving you the secrets about what I do and how I do what I do. So here you go. If you go to tad.org and you go to, now this is not information for the average person. This is for somebody that wants to get extra data and whatnot. So let's see, you got data downloads. They've reorganized the website a little bit, but here you go. So let's go to residential properties. residential comp attribute. So here's this. If I flash, if so, you download that. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You'll be able to see kind of the conclusion of the evidence right there. It's pretty cool. If I was to flash it up on the screen, inevitably somebody would get mad at me because it seems like that's information that shouldn't be public, but it's public. So there you go. All right, Kathy, what's up? Robert, where can I find what I owe with the current appraisal? Is that listed anywhere? Great question, Robert. That is going to be on the tax assessor's website. The easiest way to find that, I'll just pop up one of my old properties. Let's see here, and I'll just show you. So if you go and look your property up, doing a live demonstration of the TAD website, I'll show you the easiest way to do it. Because they actually have these websites kind of talking in coordination with each other, and they're updating their website on a weekly basis. I got to give them credit to the progress. I also need to probably criticize the fact that they get a lot of criticism because the value notices were sent out and their website wasn't ready for the volume or ready for the functionality, but they're making continual changes, and so I'm hopeful for the progress. I'm glad to see it. But if you go to your property here and you scroll down in this little box, you can click that button right there and you can go to the taxes. Whoops. There goes that one didn't work. You have been able to go to the tax assessor's website. Watch. I'll send them an email and tell them that link is broken. All right. So I'm going to show you a different way. Tarrant. Let's see, tax assessor. The bottom line is you're not going to find what you owe because the tax rates will be established later this year, and then the tax bills even after that. The tax bill for what you're going to owe based on the current value is going to come out in like October. Right now is your opportunity to sign up at freetaxprotest.com and get your value reduced. So that your tax bill is lower. But if you go to the tax assessor's website, that's where they're going to take the value that's being established right now. They're going to couple it with the multiply it by the tax rate that they're going to establish in September, and then they'll send that tax bill out to your mortgage company, or if your house is paid off, then they'll send that bill to you, and then it'll be due by January 31st for most people. All right, let's click that, click paste. I'll just show you. This is where you can find it. So the tax bill on this particular house, it says it's there's none due, and then you can look in the history and just see where the different tax payments over the years. Ryan LLC is a protesting company. You can see my beautiful wife's name is right there. We used to own this house, don't anymore. But stalkers, you can show up there all you want. I do think I have somebody quite obsessed with me. I think I've got somebody out there is a strong Chandler Crouch admirer, and it's a little weird to think somebody's that obsessed with me. If I had any girl at any point in my life as obsessed with me as this dude is, I probably would have ended my, run myself into the gutter with a life of debauchery or something. I don't know. But anyway, so there you go. That's what you can find. This is public data you can find through the tax assessor's website. Wait till the video ends, then you can go rewind to see it walk through there. All right. He does this for free and great at it. Thank you, D. You were awesome. Really appreciate you. Great material for the huge announcement currently in Korea. What's up, Korea? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Very cool. People all over the world are flocking to Chandler Crouch Realtors for property tax information, Tarrant County style. Do you have any signs? I would love to. Okay. Look, I've thought about this and thought about how cool it would be if, like, all of a sudden we were starting to get signs going. What should the sign say? I am open to this. I've thought about what should the sign say. I don't know. I would be totally on board with that. Totally on board with some merch and help kind of get the word out about what's going on. I've thought about, I don't know. Chandler represents me. I don't know. I don't know somebody with some marketing chops and Tank, if you've got an idea, I'd love to see it, but that's awesome. We've still got, probably could still pull it off. We got May 30th is the deadline, so I'm open to it. All right, daughter would have to come to you for buying her house, but was looking outside. Hey, it doesn't matter. Look, we can help people buy or sell as long as they're in North Texas. We can help them. My team is on the ball. In fact, speaking of my team, look at this: Andrew Gerbers and Ashley Gerbers. What's up? Ashley's probably. Thank you for being you. We're so glad. Ashley is awesome. Thank you for joining. I tell you what, these are good folks right here. Best realtor on earth, Julie Smith, another best folk on earth. You're so humble and such a great person. We thank you for all that you do. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's only because of, look, one person alone can't do anything, unfortunately, unless you got a bunch of money, which, by the way, it just kind of clicked for me. If you're a politician that gets elected by the establishment, all that means is you're elected by money. If you're elected by the grassroots, you're elected by people. Now, yes, everybody has to vote. You're not going to get elected unless you get the votes. But the thing fueling the campaign is either money or people. It'd be great to have both. But that's something that I realized recently. I'm like, I'm a grassroots guy. Is it too late? Nope, not too late. Sign up, www.freetaxprotest.com. And that'll do it. If you're in a different county, then your protest deadline is 30 days after you get your value notice. In Tarrant County, even if your value notice says there's a deadline of May 15th, you can still sign up, and that's what you do. I checked. Nothing was listed for 2023 for my property. Is it pending or blank? That's the question. I don't know. But they're still sending out some values. If like there are quirky situations that they have that there's quirky situations that will cause them to be delayed in coming up with your value. And look, guys, I was just playing. Look, I've gone 51 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going all the way to the hour mark. So I'm going to continue going. I'm a Chandler Crouch supporter is a good sign. I'm a Chandler Crouch supporter. Think about this, though. Like, that's great for my ego. But the goal here is to help people somehow. And the goal would be how I'm happy with my name being on there. I've accepted the fact that I'm the mascot. In fact, if you didn't know this, I was actually the mascot in my high school. So kind of fits like a glove. I'm the mascot for this movement. But I would want to drive people to be able to help them somehow. So Chandler Crouch is protesting my property tax value. That's not a bad one. You know, something like that. For free. Chandler Crouch is protesting my property tax value for free. I don't know. Then I've got to think about what that feels like to the person whose sign is in the yard sign, whatever. And, but that's not, I don't know, something like that. I would want to drive people to go get help either from me or on their own or whatever. Those are my thoughts, but I like it. I'm digging it. It's amazing someone can be so obsessed with you helping, assisting others, but will not use their skills and assets. So, I know, right? Sonia, this is the thing that drives me nuts. Like the amount of money that was spent on those mailers, if they would have spent the same amount of money actually helping people, or why not just pay someone's property taxes for that? It just doesn't make sense. I'd like to attribute to my good looks. I don't know. It's hey, oh, I was going to tell you something that if I'm flattered. If somebody thinks I'm good looking, I'm flattered. Even if you're a guy and you think I'm good looking, I'm married, I'm heterosexual, the whole 9 yards. But if you're a dude and you think I'm good looking, I'll still be flattered. So I think that this is obviously a guy who's obsessed with me. So you know what? I'm just going to take it as a compliment. I don't have much experience with this kind of thing. Anybody out there who's had a legitimate issue like this is probably thinking that's not funny at all. And it's probably right. I probably shouldn't take it so lightly. What's up, Kimmy? What's up from GP? Representing in the house. Go Big Blue. Who's north? All right. You saw me on TV with Cito. Yep. He's a good guy. Need a great realtor up in Frisco. And you always call us first. But Michael Cito is the man. He's awesome up there, especially if you need investment property. He's a good guy. Jacob Allen, any tax advice for a new homeowner who bought the house in 2022 is getting hit with appraised value equal to market value? Here's the thing, Jacob. There are two things I'll give you. I got 6 minutes left. One is the odds of getting a reduction Okay. Their goal is to value the property equal to market value. The thing that establishes market value is what you purchase the house for. So if they're valuing you at or below what you purchased the house for, the odds you're getting a reduction are very close to non-existent. There is an option. There is an option that I'm going to put this up there because what's up, John? You're so awesome, like in real time. There is an option that I know exists. I just haven't done it because nobody's paying me to do this, to be honest with you. But if you were to go to arbitration and you were to find other properties that are being taxed at a level, let me flap this back up there. If you're finding other properties are being taxed at a level lower than you're being taxed at, even if you bought it for higher, then through arbitration or your negotiations prior to arbitration, I believe you could get it below your purchase price. I think it would take filing arbitration to get it to that level, which is a $500 deposit. You get $450 back if you're successful. So I've done arbitration once, and I didn't get into the actual arbitration hearing. I settled prior to the hearing, but I got them to knock $300,000 off when we got into that arbitration hearing. So there you go. All right. So what do we have here? John just signed up, but I was rock on, John. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I'll do the best I can for you. Signs. Vote for Chandler at Free Tax Pro. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. You know what? I actually got the domains ChandlerCrouchTaxProtest.com and ChandlerTaxProtest.com. I've been thinking about going under these other names because the fact that I'm free seems to not even be the driver of everything. It just seems to be that I'm the guy that the fact that I've done it for free has caused people to be able to, build a trust with me and like a relationship with people. And so, it seems like nobody out there is saying, well, the vast majority of people say, go to Chandler, he can help. They're not saying go to Chandler, he does it for free. The vast majority, a ton of people do. But anyway, I could put vote for Chandler at Chandler. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I dig it. Thanks for the idea, Jacqueline. I'm going to chew on it a little bit. It's blank. I don't know what blank means. Oh, it's blank. Sorry. We're having a conversation. If it's blank, then that means you may have a confidential account. And if that's the case, I won't be able to protest for you. So if you go to tad.org and there's nothing there, then I won't be able to protest for you. If I'm about to log off, I will go over that big announcement again. But, and Contra donated like $2 or something, or $5 or something. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I saw that and I just haven't had a chance to thank you. I got a little behind on my comments. Robert, why don't you just shoot me an email, protest@chandlercrouch.com. Give me a couple days and we'll get a reply to you. The big announcement is this, Contra. Every day I'm going to go live with a new property tax subject. We're going to hit things ranging from how to protest and when, if you don't want to hire me, how to do it in any county, anywhere. I'm going to give you another topic is going to be the over 65 exemption. I get more questions about this than probably anything else because the over 65 crowd is the crowd that is most threatened by property taxes because they see their income is here and their property tax value keeps skyrocketing. And there are a lot of misconceptions out there. I'll have a couple pieces of information, advice for the over 65 crowd you're not going to hear anywhere else. I guarantee it. Secret people behind the scenes that are making our property tax situation corrupt. Why our property tax situation isn't getting any better. And what kind of legislation we're going to see this year. What can be done about it. I'll teach you. I'll have another event about how to protest like a millionaire. I will have another event to teach my secret algorithm and like business process behind the scenes, how I'm able to do such a good job for so many people and, create skeptics right and left. It's fun to do that. And I'll show you how I do it. Let's see. So there are going to how to file a protest if you miss the deadline. So I'm going to have a number of these different topics. I'm going to hit once a day for a while now. And I'm ending this time. Oh gosh, I'm going to fly through the rest of these comments and then I'm going to log off. So buckle your seatbelt. Let me go fast. Did I miss the answer about over 65? If so, yes, kind of. You got to, it's just kind of a ball of wax I don't want to get into too much. The value of your property has no limit, but the amount you pay to the school district for sure is capped out, the actual amount on your bill. Other taxing entities have the ability to freeze it. Hey, by the way, but it's optional. All right, by the way, there's a good chance the haters are going to show up on my daily things. Get ready to dogpile if they hop on here. I will watch it happen in real time. If a homeowner passed away, estate is showing estate on the blue paper. Can the heirs of the house retain the appraised value instead of being taxed on the market value, which is twice the appraised value? Oh gosh. I don't know. I don't know. We would need to see who the heirs are. Is it a spouse? Is it kids? How did that transfer happen? And what kind of qualifications do the heirs meet? I surviving spouse benefits are a thing. Surviving heirs, I'm just not sure, to be really honest with you. It's not a question I get very often, but I know I have known the answer. I just honestly I don't know. But I wish I could answer it for you right now. I'm just not going to be able to. But I would do this. My camera's out of focus. Let's see. If you email, trying to get to focus, exempt@tad.org, exempt@tad.org, and ask them the question, then they'll be able to tell you. All right, let's go see what we have. Kathy, emoji face. April, if they want to talk trash about you and they are honest, why hide their anonymity? Of course. That's the obvious thing. Thank you, April. You're awesome. Thank you for getting my back. Looking to hire anyone part-time, evening, weekends? I believe in Chandler Crouch. Awesome. Well, I tell you what, Esteban, I'm going to need somebody to drive around and help pick up some stuff from people. And I do have a, I don't need anybody part-time right now. I'm sorry. I'm going to need, I need to hire somebody to be on the phones. I'm going to need that. And then I'm going to need help from somebody running around doing errands here shortly. I'm going over 2 minutes. Beat South. No, what is up with that? Oh yeah, Beat South. Yes, Beat South. Who is this? I can't see your icon. Sorry. I'm thinking on the fly. I didn't process it quickly enough. Yeah, Beat South. Thank you. Go Big Blue. All right. Once you sign your appraisal after protesting at TAD, are you still able to change it? No. Nope, it's a done deal. If you sign the settlement, then it's done. Mike, sign idea. Property tax is too high. There you go. Yeah, that's an easy one. Yep. I dig it. That's the one. I think that something like that is going to be, it's going to be closer to that. I probably want my name on there just because there are a lot of shenanigans out there. And here, if you go to somebody's property tax protest website, a tax consultant's website, the easiest way to know whether or not it's close to a scam is to look to see if they put their name on the website. It's rare for a scam artist to not put their name on the website. So I would probably put Chandler Crouch on there somewhere just so they know they can trust it. But I dig the idea. So I think that's probably going to be a winner. Thanks for the insight. You got it. I donate. Oh, dude, John, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Robert. I don't think they can when they inherit is there. There you go, Kathy. Thanks for answering that. Got a crazy letter that you mentioned last week. How did they get my information? Guess what? The most of the information that people, you'd be shocked at how much stuff is available publicly. If you just download all the data and you're a tax consultant, you know how to sift and sort the data. There's a shocking amount of information that's public. And if you file open records requests through the appraisal district, they can find out a lot of stuff. No worries. I'm helping another. We set ourselves free. King Arthur. Wait. No worries. In helping one another, we set ourselves free. That's pretty cool. I dig it. Rock on. All right, y'all. It's been a pleasure. It's been an hour and I'm hungry. And what's it called? Loco shrimp. What is it called? Loco shrimp? Hold on. The shrimp place, Coco Shrimp. I don't know why I'm saying loco. It's like trying to contain Poco and Loco. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Stay tuned this week. It's going to be a lot of Chandler and property tax coming your way. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate your support. Thank you. Over and out. Coco Shrimp.